So these role plays were extremely therapeutic and powerful learning tools that were very helpful to me when I was in a childhood trauma group with a skilled childhood trauma therapist. I was in a childhood trauma group in the late 90s with my now mentor, Amanda Curtin, who taught us how to do these role plays with each other, and she would also do them as well, to help each other find some personal power when we were in conflict with a difficult or immature or toxic parent, or we were getting triggered to those dynamics. And yes, I mentioned that that was in the 1990s, where we were all struggling with extremely abusive family or parental dynamics. This stuff is really not new. And the role plays were actually really helpful in working through connecting with some grief from childhood trauma. Most of the role plays in this compilation were set up in 3 ways. The first is the role play shows what it's actually like in the present with an abusive parent and how we might typically respond. Think of this as like the unhealthy version that helps us connect with what it's actually like having a relationship like this with a parent. The second version of the role plays is what I call the healthy version. This is what the scenario would look like if the parent actually was healthy or became healed. This is the one that can spark off a lot of grief when we see these. They can also feel really unbelievable that there are actually parents out there that can heal, which is it's super rare, but it does happen. And the third version of the role plays is what the role play would look like if you, the adult child, became empowered and was able to tell the truth to an abusive parent while they're still doing their stuff, and you're also able to set boundaries with them, because I'm trying to spell that out about what that would look like. So what you can do to make use of this compilation video is you can scroll through the timestamps and pick an issue that you're struggling with, such as having a narcissistic father or a codependent mother. They're all listed there. In addition, there's also a playlist, an accompanying playlist of clinical analysis videos. For each role play that I would do, I would release a video after each role play as a clinical analysis, which is like a deeper dive into why those particular parents say those things and why we might respond to them, or how the parent might affect us. And I hope it's helpful to you. And also, once you kind of get through with the role plays that were helpful to you, if you could please leave a comment with what helped, or if you have some questions, or actually if there's a dynamic that you would like to see in a new role play video, say with a difficult person. And it doesn't have to be with a difficult parent. It can be like if you want to see a role play with between someone who gets steamrolled by a difficult boss and what an empowered version of that would look like. I'm happy to do something like that.
Hey, I need to ask you something. Yeah, sure. You okay? Yeah, so I love the seating arrangements, and we've booked a cottage for the weekend. And I love the spot you picked out for the ceremony. I'm so excited. I know, me too. Tim's mom just sent me the sweetest text about the spot and the setting. That spot was so beautiful, you know? I showed the pics to Andy, and he was blown away. Andy? You shared those pics with Andy? Mom, you're talking with him again? You ended it with him 4 months ago. Well, honey, that's what I meant by we. He's going in halves with me on the cottage, and he wanted to respectfully ask if he could be present in any way at your wedding. Mom, you're back together? After everything he did in February? I know what you're going to say, but he's being really sweet. And he said respectfully. He respectfully wants you to consider him being at the wedding. But he says he totally understands if you don't want that. And he'll just go hiking while we do the ceremony. But if not, maybe you could let me leave early before the end of the reception. He's got friends up here that are only around that night, and he doesn't like it when he hosts things alone. You won't stay for the whole wedding, Mom? Oh, honey, I'm only asking you, and this is entirely up to you. I'm totally here for you, and this is your day. So whatever you say goes. I just don't want him to feel left out. I told him I would try to make the other get-together happen. Mom, I thought you said you were done with him. Tim and I dropped everything and drove down there and moved you out, and it took you weeks for you to finally tell him that you were done. I know, baby, I'm sorry, but he went to counseling, and I didn't want to upset you, but he has started apologizing to me a few weeks later, and I didn't want you to be mad at me again. Especially when you're planning a wedding, I wasn't going to do that to you. Who would I be if I did? He started therapy? Yes, well, he stopped now, but things are so amazing for us. He's like a totally different person. And the makeup sex was just incredible. You know what it's like after maybe like a terrible fight with Tim, right? It makes the whole thing worth it, right? I guess I know what you mean, yeah. But I wanted to ask you about that book you read, the one you kept telling me about when I was getting ready to break up with him. You know that stuff so well. The one about not taking people's stuff on? No, that wasn't the one. The one about how to get someone to acknowledge what you're feeling. Do you mean the I statements one? Yes. How do I do that with him? Well, I love practicing it, Mom. All you do is you keep reiterating, I feel or I think, instead of arguing or just going along with what he wants. God, I need to do that. What do I do when he goes silent, like when he's mad and he doesn't talk to me for hours? Well, I just saw this amazing Instagram post about it and I'll send it to you. It's about that. That's called stonewalling. And it's more about them than actually anything that you actually did. Okay, but what do I say to him? Well, you could say, I feel like I'm being punished when you don't talk to me. God, that's so simple. I love it. So then he'll start talking to me again? Well, you can't know that, Mom. It's like, I think if he crosses a boundary, like punishing you with silence, then you have to tell him it's a boundary for you and he can't do that to you. If he doesn't respect that, then you have to make a different choice about the relationship. You're so amazing. So I can choose to not talk either. So, honey, it would mean a lot to him if you would maybe just allow him a seat at the wedding. If not, I totally get it. But maybe if you could tell your father for me that the guy I'm with couldn't make it. I just don't want him to know that I don't have anyone for this special day. Why can't you tell him, Mom? Well, I think, it's just going to look bad and it's going to look like I don't have it together. His wife will be there and I'm sure she'll notice I'm alone. Please. Mom, that's really not that big deal, Oh, come on. You can just text him that my boyfriend got caught up at work and can't make up. Make up something about like why you're telling him, maybe something about catering. I don't know. Mom, fine. Just come with Andy. I don't want to make something up and send a weird random text to Dad about you. Please don't let him think that I'm ready to talk about February. I can't get into that tomorrow. You're so amazing. I'm so happy for you, and Annie's going to be so relieved that you're okay with him and you want him there. I have to go tell him, I love you. Can't wait to see you in your dress. Hey, honey, I need to tell you something. Yeah, sure. Are you okay? Yes. Well, first, I love the seating arrangements, and I booked a cottage for the weekend. And I love the spot you picked out for the ceremony. I'm so excited. I know, me too. Tim's mom just sent me the sweetest text about the spot and the setting. That spot was so beautiful. I was totally blown away. Well, Mom, what's the thing you need to tell me? Well, it's something that I don't mean to bring up with you when you're getting ready to have the biggest day of your life, but I have to get this off my chest because I feel like I let you down. After I broke up with Andy and you helped me so much with it, I broke down and started texting him again for about a week after, and I didn't tell you about that. Mom, you're not back together with him, are you? God, no. He started with this same old bullshit over text, and then at that point I knew I was totally clear to me that leaving him was the right thing to do. I just felt guilty about hiding that from you after everything you did to help me through that. Oh, Mom, thank God. That's okay, I'm really glad you told me, though. Also, honey, I'm in counseling now, and I tell them about how you took care of me so much through that, and they're challenging me to fix my relationship with you, and that involves honesty about something else. What's that, Mom? Well, they pointed out that I'm ashamed that you have helped me more than I've helped you. During the divorce, I would run to you for help, and you were only 12. Then with every relationship after, you would try to get me to pick better guys, but I was in La La Land and you just kept trying. It's like I was a boy-crazy teenage daughter and you were the mom. I can't believe how honest you're being with me right now, Mom. That's true. I was doing that for you. I'm so sorry, honey. And there's also a couple other things that I need to have better boundaries about. And if this is too much, we can totally do this after the honeymoon. No, Mom, I'm good. We need to have this conversation, and I'm proud of you for doing this. There you go again. It's like you're the mom again. Well, I need to stop telling you about my problems with men. and I need to stop asking you to talk to your father on my behalf. I've put you in the middle way too many times, and I do that because I can't handle doing it myself, and that has to stop. I've used you, and I've treated you like a friend when I should have been parenting about that you're still our child. Mom, I'm blown away. So I need something from you in this. What's that? Well, I need you to stop giving me advice because I'm too quick to take it. And you're like my little therapist, and that isn't good for you. You've put so much time and energy into getting me to break up with Andy when I needed that kind of support from a friend or a therapist. That's damaging to you because you put your life on pause when I should have been encouraging you to just live your life and not to get your dramatic teenage mom to be an adult. I don't know what to say, but yeah, I will stop doing that. My job right now is to rebuild your trust in me and show up for you differently. Mom, I'm like in shock, but thank you so much. I really needed to hear this. And I'm so happy where you are. I love you. I love you too. Hey, I need to ask you something. Yeah, sure. Are you okay? So I love the seating arrangements, and we booked a cottage for the weekend. And I love that spot you picked out for the ceremony. I'm so excited for you. I know, me too. Tim's mom just sent me the sweetest text about the spot and the setting. You know, that spot was so beautiful. I showed the pics she sent to Andy, and even he was blown away. Andy? You shared those pics with Andy? Mom, you're not talking to him, are you? You ended it with him 4 months ago. Well, honey, that's what I meant by we. He's going in on halves with the cottage, and, he wanted to respectfully ask you if he could be around for your wedding. Mom, you're back together? After everything he did in February and how he spoke to me? I know what you're going to say, but he's being so sweet, and he said respectfully. He respectfully wants you to consider him being around for the wedding, honey, and he's totally understands if you don't want that. And he'll just go hiking while we do the ceremony. But if not, honey, maybe you could let me leave early at the end of the reception. And he has friends up here that are only around for one night, and he hates hosting stuff like that alone. Mom, I'm not doing this with you. I spent a lot of time and energy trying to help you break up with him, and that was a mistake if he just went right back into it. And respectfully doesn't mean shit, Mom, after what he said to me and Tim. Well, honey, you don't have to be mean. This is really hard for me, and you could have just said, Mom, look. You're asking me to include him in my wedding, which is a total mind F. After allowing me to take care of you and support you through that breakup. At least be honest with me and say you got back together instead of dancing around some huge elephant and like trying to use a Jedi mind trick on me to forget what happened back in February and what that was like for all of us. Did you think you could just casually drop this and think I'd forgotten? That's insane. Tim and I took you in for a month. You're being manipulative by not being real about this. Okay, fine. I shouldn't have asked. I know I'm awful for you for asking, but he went to therapy and he's been so amazing, but you don't have to have him there if you don't want. That's still asking me, Mom. You're just now doing it with guilt. You still don't get what you're asking me. I'm sorry, I really am. Maybe you can tell me about a good self-help book that I can talk better with you. No, I'm not. Google it. Don't ask me to teach you to be a better mom. You're still using me in that way. I know, I get it. I'm sorry, but, okay, just forget everything. But one thing, I need you to let your father know that I'm coming alone. Just tell him that my boyfriend couldn't get out of work or something. Nope, I'm not doing that either, Mom. You're an adult, and I'm not doing your dirty work for you. Honey, what happened to us? You used to really get me, and we used to just laugh, and we used to have so much to share, and... Mom, get a dog or a friend or a therapist. I'm your daughter, but I'm sick of being your parent. Look, he's not allowed to the wedding, and you have to know that your choices are going to affect our relationship. I gotta go. Mom, I need to tell you something. I need some help. I think I have to break up with Kate. Why? She's so good for you. No. Mom, it's been awful. She's constantly picking fights. She gives me a silent treatment that will last a few days, and according to her, I'm ruining her life. I'm supposed to anticipate everything that she wants and needs without telling me about it. I feel like I'm failing a test. And well, men aren't known to be very attentive or aware, sweetie. Are you sure you're not doing something stupid with her? Why didn't I know about this sooner, too? Mom, I know, but it's embarrassing. She constantly puts me down. She goes out drinking like 4 nights a week. And she's constantly threatening to go find somebody else. Well, look, honey, nobody's perfect. Maybe she's going through a phase. Did you ever think about that? I really like her. I think she's the best girlfriend you've had so far. And also, her mother and I get along so well. It's going to be really awkward if you guys break up. Mom, I was hoping that this wouldn't involve her parents. And what has that got to do with it? There you go again, misunderstanding me. Of course a breakup would be devastating. I'm just trying to make sure you're making the right decision. Listen, as your mother, and no one on this planet knows you better than I do, that you tend to get very, very sensitive. You're born sensitive, and I wonder if this has something to do with what's going on. Mom, I know I'm sensitive, and she tells me that too. Sometimes I feel like this is all in my head, but she gets really abusive. She threw her phone at me the other night, and our fights get so bad that the neighbors have to come in and check in on us. She starts screaming, and it freaks the whole building out. Well, I don't know what to tell you, and I hope that things get really worked out between the two of you. I'd hate to lose a friendship with her mom over this. Listen, are you sure you're not doing something annoying? It's taken him years, but your father has finally learned not to push my buttons, and things go so much more smoother between us. Honey, women get passionate, sure, but I really don't think you can do better than... I guess I'll think about it, Mom. I gotta go. You just don't like what I have to say, do you? I would just hate to see you make one of your classic dramatic mistakes, but suit yourself, fine. It's your choice. Okay, so here's the role play with the healthy mom. Mom, I need to tell you something. I could really use your help. I have to break up with Kate, I think. Really? Oh my God, honey, I'm sorry. Tell me what's going on. Mom, it's been awful. She constantly picks fights over nothing. She does these silent treatments that last for days. According to her, I'm ruining her life. And I'm supposed to anticipate everything she needs and wants without communicating anything to me. It's like I feel this major test every day. How awful. Honey, how long has it been going on like this? God, this is embarrassing, but at least since we moved into each other like 6 months ago. She's constantly putting me down. She goes out drinking 4 times a week. And she even threatens to find somebody else. Oh, that is so not okay. I'm so sorry. You don't have to feel embarrassed with me. That happens. It's part of dating, that when people show their true colors. Unfortunately, it happens. I had a gut feeling about her that something might have been off. And I'm really glad you came to me. Tell me more. Okay, well, sometimes I feel like this is all me in my head, though. But she gets abusive. She threw her phone at me the other day. And our fights get so bad that our neighbors have to check in on us. She starts like screaming at me, and everyone gets freaked out and asks if we need help. Then the next day she'll pretend like nothing happened and she's over it. It's really confusing. Oh, that's so emotionally abusive. That's awful. What can I do to get you out of this fast? You don't have to spend another second in this. What if... God, Mom, thank you. That's just the thing. It's like she makes me feel like I cause everything when I don't. Does she do that thing where she can't own anything that she does? Oh my God, Mom, yes, totally. Let's get you out of this. Can you maybe break up with her today? Yeah, I think I can do that. It's been awful, but every day's awful anyway. There you go. That's smart. That's really smart. I'm proud of you. She sounds miserable anyway you cut it. Can I check in with you later on tonight? And can you maybe stay with
Yeah.
somebody? Yeah, I'd love that. And yeah, I can do that. I can ask Mike if I can go over there tonight. He'd be fine with it. Good. Honey, I'm proud of you. And no one has time for something like this, honey. I love you. Love you too, Mom. Thanks. And here's the role play where the person sets the boundaries with the narcissistic mom. Mom, I need to tell you something. I need help. I think I have to break up with Kate. Why? She's so good for you. No. No, Mom. She actually isn't good for me. It's been awful. She constantly picks fights with me over nothing. And she does these silent treatments that last for days. According to her, I'm ruining her life. And I'm supposed to anticipate everything she needs without communicating anything to me. I feel like I fail major tests every day. Well, honey, men aren't known to be very attentive or aware. Are you sure you're not doing anything stupid with her? Why didn't I know about this sooner? Well, I'm telling you now, Mom. I need help about it, and I don't see how it's about gender. Can you just listen to me and what I'm saying? Geez, fine. I'm all ears. She's been constantly putting me down. She goes out drinking like 4 nights a week, and she constantly threatens to go find somebody else. Listen, really, look, you're a sensitive guy. And I'm just going to say it. Nobody's perfect, honey, and she's the best girl you've dated. And besides, her mom and I get along really well. Mommy just made the whole thing about you while taking my abusive girlfriend's side. Let's call it a day if you can't be supportive to your own son, okay? There you go again, misunderstanding me. I just want to make sure you're not making a mistake, which you know you are making a mistake. Otherwise, you wouldn't call me to rescue you out of it. Let's stop the convo, Mom. I'm your son, and it's appropriate to trust what I'm saying and be supportive. If you really can't do that, let's just agree to disagree. I don't know what you want from me. You're not understanding me. It's best that I don't bring this stuff to you, and I'm going to go. Take care. Hey, do you have a few minutes? Yeah. Well, I just don't know what to do. Like, the job I took is so overwhelming, and it's not what they told me it would be at all when I started. Last week, they abruptly laid off my team partner who was training me, and then they had a meeting with me and telling me I was going to take over all of their projects, and that was just my 3rd week there. I have no idea where all their files are or their contacts, and I was already working like 50 hours to learn their system and to learn the clients. And this week I just worked over 70 hours, and I'm salary. That's nearly double my hours. And I know this is a lot, but like, I haven't been sleeping at all, and I'm getting up at 6:30, and I don't get out of there till 9 sometimes, and I can't sleep. And if I ask questions, my supervisor just rolls their eyes at me like I'm bothering them. And they said yesterday in my interview that they thought I was a go-getter and that I would do whatever it takes. That never came up in the interview. And I just asked HR about my insurance plan because I need to set up my primary care appointment for that thing. And they casually told me that insurance doesn't kick in for another 2 months, when it was in writing on my offer letter that it was supposed to start this week, like after the 30 days. I'm sorry, but I'm exhausted, and I needed this job to be better than I thought it was. I have no idea what to do. I don't know. You know, it sounds like they probably just need you to power through some things. That's how businesses work. There's no free lunch in this world, and I've been telling you that since you were 6. You know, and what's so wrong with needing employees to rally once in a while? That's not too much to ask. I know, I'm sorry, but maybe there are bigger things going on in the background that they just need to do. It's not always about what employees need. You know, look, if I were you, I would just power through it. You know, it probably won't last forever, and you don't get everything you want in life. I've been trying to get you to think like that, but you always think you deserve more from the world when you don't. Like, I'm just grateful I have a job, you know? Not everybody does. Well, if you think that's bad, they just changed the record system at the hospital. And now I have to log in every time, and I can't find anything. I can't find stats. I can't find doctor's orders. And it's a nightmare. This one's telling me it's not a big deal. That one's telling me they hate the system too. Why couldn't they have just left it alone? I've been working on that system since I started 15 years ago. And now I can't get through a shift without having to tell my boss how much I hate it and why it doesn't work. Do you know that they had the nerve to tell me that if I don't learn the system, they might have to take disciplinary action against me? I'm union, I said. I will go straight to the top with this. That's not the way to treat me, and I'm not the only one struggling with this thing. Maybe you could ask to be trained again. I'm not doing that. That first training took a whole afternoon. No, I'm not doing that again. I don't see why can't they make the two systems talk to each other? The old system and the new system. Oh, have you talked with your brother? Well, you wouldn't believe what's going on with his work. They gave him all this responsibility by having him train 2 new people. And they didn't even ask him if he would do it. They told him. He has to make sure that they understand what he does, and they're asking him constant questions, and he's just trying to get through his day. One of them even followed him as he was on his way to lunch. Like, read the room, you know? I keep telling him it's not forever, but I think he should say something, don't you? But I didn't call about, maybe they should compensate him or something like that for all that, you know? People don't get what it's like for him to just get through his day, but he's got such a good way about him, and I can see why they asked him to train, because he's probably the only one who's competent around there. And you didn't even ask me about what I'm going through with work. I got my own problems going on, and I don't even know what you want me to say. Do you think I have the bandwidth to help you when it's not that bad, actually? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, then talk about what? I can't possibly see what I can do for you when I have nothing left for myself. You're not calling me to see what I need. I get no help from anyone. It's the story of my life. And you, of all people, should know that. Oh, really? But what are you going to do? You need that health insurance. You just started, and you probably don't even have the time to look elsewhere for a new job. I didn't want to. Look, don't say anything now, because you'll get written up or something for insubordination, probably. You don't want that right now, because you'll need to use them as a reference at some point. I wouldn't even have the time to look for another job. Not that one would just appear right in front of you like you need right now. And I hope you don't get sick, because really, paying out of pocket for insurance right now you probably don't even qualify for Cobra because you left the other job. I thought about that. Even if you did, that's like half your month's salary probably. And if you say or do anything, then they'll badmouth you. And you'll never get a reference from them, and you might not work for months. You should be extra careful around this, because you're probably trapped. Oh, it's just like that movie, what you just said, it's going to kill me now. Which movie was it? I can't, help me think about what it was. Who was the woman, the country singer with all the blonde hair, and she's so pretty? She's got an amusement park now. Dolly Parton? Yes! That's it. Oh, you would love this movie I'm thinking of. You have to see it. It's older, and I know that you might not like it since, you don't really appreciate that kind of comedy, but we love this movie growing up, and it was an important movie about men and women in the workplace, and it was so funny with the boss, and he's in his underwear, and oh my God, you die. The co-star. Oh, who was the co-star? She was a brunette. Not the one doing the yogurt commercials, although she looks amazing right now. But Jane Fonda, that's who she is. But the other one is, well, the movie, it was the times. And, if you grew up then, and you would appreciate it. Why are we talking about? I haven't seen this movie. Well, if you'd let me finish, you'd see the point that Lily Tomlin, that's who it is. Oh my God, I loved her. That's the third one. And, you'd have to see this movie, and you totally get what I'm saying. Oh, hey, that sounds really hard, but I'm in the middle of trying to talk with somebody right now, trying to get through something with somebody, and I'm sure we can connect about it later, maybe. You're okay though, right? I guess. Well, good. And if it's not major, and if you don't mind, I'm shoring up a situation here, and then it'll tie me up until next week. But maybe could you call me back, and I'll make a note that you want to have this conversation. and I can catch up with you then. Okay? Good. Okay. Whoa, that sounds like such an ordeal. I'm so sorry that they've done such a 180 on you like that. You must be exhausted. I am, yeah, I'll bet. I've been there, and you just feel like you're crazy because probably I wonder if the other people at work are so used to it by now or even shut down that, and you're new. So I wonder if it's not safe to really bounce things off your other coworkers because you don't know who you can trust. Yeah, like I can't bring anything up. And it's just so off. Well, it's so not healthy or normal. And, it sounds like one of those nightmare jobs that people talk about and having. And then once they're out of it, they swear they'll never do something like that again. And that's kind of what it was like for me. And, do you need any help maybe coming up with a plan? I can't even think really through that. I'm just stressed. And, I totally get the stress of it all. But I worry that might keep you in it a little bit longer than you need to be. And, they're not doing right by you. So maybe you could dial it back and take your time on the work and to reserve some energy to take care of yourself and maybe think about getting out of there. If that's what you think you might need, what I'm saying is maybe just give them 80% right now instead of 1,000% and really try to take care of yourself. Yeah, I needed to hear that. Sure. You're so welcome. Hang in there. Hello?
Hey, I'm looking at this insurance statement and it nearly gave me a stroke. What are you seeing a therapist for? You of all people have no problems.
Dad, I'm sorry. I was going to tell you. I thought all that was confidential.
God, don't be so dumb, Cassie. I'm the policy holder and you're not 26 yet. I see everything, remember? I get all the bills. I bet you don't even know how a deductible works.
Dad, I didn't know that you'd see that. I just started seeing this person 2 months ago.
Well, I looked them up and it seems like you're seeing a big nobody. Classic you. Their office is even downtown, Cassie. They're not even a fucking doctor. And what are those ridiculous letters after their names? You're probably getting scammed.
I'm sorry, Dad. It's been helpful and I like them.
Oh, please, you're fine. You just need to stop talking to your mother so much. She needs a psych ward, and God knows I thought about getting her committed. And another thing, your mother insanely thinks that I don't know how to get the court to see that I'm right about the financial statements, but that's a whole other story, and you can go right ahead and tell her all about it. Look, you don't need therapy, you need a job. Some nobody loser therapist with terrible headshots on their website is just pathetic, and they just want your money. I don't even know how you can see somebody who looks like that. Ugh. By the way, I left them a voicemail. Since I'm paying for this, they need to talk to me about this so I can set them straight about you.
Dad, you can't do that.
I can.
You need my permission to speak with them. She's not going to call you back. They're a really good therapist, and they're not like that at all. Once I get a job, I can get off your insurance, and it won't be a pain for you, okay? I've been interviewing this week.
Says you. I'll keep calling them. I have my ways. Hold off on that getting your own insurance, okay? We'll see. You probably won't get a decent starting job, and you'll probably still need to be on my plan unless you're interviewing for something high profile, which I seriously doubt.
Well, I just graduated and I've had 2 interviews for nonprofits.
Oh, come on, Cassie. Nonprofits pay nothing and they're so dumpy. What are you doing? Have you not learned anything from me?
Dad, I'm sorry. I just don't want to work on the corporate side of business administration. It doesn't line up with me, and I know that you hate that, but...
You went to school for that, though. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous again with this lame dreamer stuff. You didn't want to get into journalism when I thought you'd make a fantastic, pretty anchor woman. You're the perfect type for that. You didn't want to get into law when I can see you knocking people dead in court. If you just get out of your mother's dopey mindset. And you didn't want to get into medicine when you could have done very impressive things in that. You're throwing all those looks and smarts away. And now you finish a business degree and you want to slave yourself for people who can't fend for themselves and who'll just line up for whatever handouts your little nonprofit is giving out that day. Do you think you're going to look like you're saving the world on your little Instagram account or something?
That's too much, Dad. None of that is even fair. Those jobs are just what you want.
So that's what you think of me in this? Cassie, look, I built a family business and provided for you and everybody else. And every guy who works for me wants my life. They ask me all the time, how did you get here, Jim? How did you do it? And it breaks my heart to think that you think I just want you to do what I say. I can't be a father? I just don't want you to end up like a single loser like your mother is. She makes no money, Cassie, and she has no visibility in her job. I'm trying to help you.
Dad, can you please stop bringing up Mom? I don't want to work in corporate. I don't want something so soulless and male-dominated. My friend Kim started a place last month, and she's so grossed out at how the women are treated.
You've officially succumbed to the liberal media, and now you have no idea how the real world works. Maybe those men run things because they started the company, Cassie. It's theirs, right? This is unbelievable. You're definitely talking to your mother too much. She didn't know how to play nice with men either. I can't even talk about my own daughter without getting nauseated about what she's doing. That she's giving up on herself and working for like homeless shelters or some stupid immigrant sort of agency. All that support I gave you. I'm telling you, you would do something amazing if you would just listen to me.
Dad, I'm sorry. I know you want what's best for me.
Finally! You're admitting it. It's the only thing I want. And I got all that bullshit of not making your graduation because I was again providing and working my ass off.
Well, Dad, there is this job that I can apply for. It's like a sales and marketing position. But what's so wrong with being salaried at a nonprofit?
Cassie, you go nowhere and you're not visible. I built my business building homes by impressing people up front. They love me. They trust me. They even worship me. That's how I got contracts. People love me so much they don't even care about the quality of work that I do, even though it's better than other contractors. That's how I made my money. Up and up and up. Nonprofit people go nowhere because they don't want to go anywhere. Your mother could never see what good I could do, and it's her loss. She never understood I was taking us places. Let me know when you applied. I know a lot of business people. It's a small world. I can help you. Just as long as you stop being stupid with your life.
Hello?
Hey, honey, I want to check in with you about something I saw on our insurance statement. And if it's too sensitive to you, you don't have to talk about it with me, but I see that you're seeing a therapist and I got a little worried.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I meant to tell you. I thought all that stuff was confidential.
I know, you think it would be, but since you're on my plan and you're not 26 yet, all the statements come together. Are you okay with talking to me about it?
Sure, yeah. It's a little embarrassing, but I just started seeing someone a couple months ago because I'm trying to I need help figuring out my job stuff.
Totally get it. Yeah, you just graduated and I'm sure it's stressful. You go from hitting the finish line with school and then you're jumping into all that pressure about finding something, right?
It's totally like that. And the therapist is helping me chill out about my anxiety about it. I don't want to be waiting tables forever, but my rent sucks up all that money and my other friends have already gotten jobs and I'm just anxious.
I've been there and, it'll happen soon. I'm glad that this person's helpful to you. And, the offer still stands if you want to do some work for the business, but I know that that's not really your jam.
Thanks, Dad. I really want to do this on my own. I have a business degree now, but I can't stand the options because they're mostly corporate. I've interviewed with 2 nonprofits and that seem to do really cool things that I like better rather than working in this really male-dominated corporate situation. Kim just got a job in corporate and it's so gross to her.
I bet, Tell me about the nonprofits.
Well, one does really cool work with inner city education and the other it's kind of fuzzy, but they do work around providing art and music programs in the community.
I can totally see you doing work like that. That's so you. I love that you're thinking like that. It's really important to do something that lines up with your insides. I'm proud of you for staying true to yourself, but finding your way is super hard. But man, once you get into that place and stop waiting tables, you're going to feel like you're on top of the world. I'm glad that the person's helpful to you.
Love you, Dad. And I'll also probably get my own health insurance when I get hired so you don't have to worry.
Cool. Well, either way, more adulting. I'm glad you're all right. I just wanted to call you, okay?
Love you. Hello?
Hey, I'm looking at this insurance statement and it nearly gave me a stroke. What are you seeing a therapist for? You don't have any problems.
Yeah, Dad, that's not the way to start a conversation with me. How did that show up on your statement?
God, don't be dumb, Cassie. I'm the policy holder and you're not 26 yet. I see everything, remember? Pay all the bills. I bet you don't have any idea how even a deductible works.
Look, I'll be off your insurance as soon as I get a job. I'm not engaging with you if you continue to be abusive
Look,
like that.
I set the tone here, not you. So I looked up this therapist and it seems like you're seeing a big nobody. Classic you. Their office isn't even downtown, Cassie. They're not even a real fucking doctor. And what are those ridiculous letters after their name? I tell you what, it's not MD. You're probably getting scammed. I left them a voicemail. I need to know what you're talking
That
about.
won't work. They won't talk to you without my permission, and it's none of your business. And like I said...
Oh, please. It is my fucking business since I'm paying for it. Just like I pay for everything else. You and your mother can't live a day without my money. Seriously, you're fine. And I can't imagine what fake problems your mother talked you into having. She needs a psych ward. God knows I try to get her committed to one.
I'm hanging up. You continuously put me and my mother down, and you are not worth it. I don't need the insurance
Well,
that
hold
bad.
on. I'm just trying to look out for you. You can stay on the insurance if you need it. You just can't hang up on your father. It's bad enough your mother has no consideration for how she talks to you about.
Hey, Dad. I'm just checking in about Thanksgiving. I didn't hear back from you, and it's been a little while now. Yeah, I know. We've been really busy with looking for a nicer condo for Betty. This place just doesn't suit her anymore. Oh, I see. Well, we just need to plan, and I need to know if you're coming since this year we'll be at Mom's for Christmas, like we said, and we'll be with you for Thanksgiving. And Dad, you still haven't met Nicholas, and he's 4 months old now. Well, you got the gift card I sent for him, right? Yeah, we did. We got that last week. Good. Well, you could have sent us a thank you, but I guess you're busy too and all. Yeah, Dad, sorry I didn't. About Thanksgiving, Dad, we'll see. Well, things have been really tough for Betty with her work problems, and I'm all bogged down supporting her in that. You wouldn't believe how hard she works for those people, and she gets such flack from them. People give her such a hard time with all these demands. It's crazy, and it never ends. By the way, have you heard from Mike? I got this call from him last month screaming bloody murder at me about his cell phone. Yeah, I did, Dad. I think you changed the plan and he couldn't get access to the billing people. That's not my problem. He's got way more spare time than I do to take care of these things. And you know what? He's not patient like I am. I keep telling him that. And guess what? He just hung up on me. Just another person lined up to giving me problems. Well, Dad, they cut his service because you're the main person on the plan and, well, just forget it. Mom put him on her plan, so... But Dad, Mike is coming to Thanksgiving and he didn't have the airfare because it's expensive right now and he's still in school, so I just went ahead and bought him the ticket. Do you think you can help me out with that? Absolutely not. Betty and I are on a strict budget because of the condo. He's your brother, and I'm doing my best here with all these bills and getting people gift cards and things. There's always something in life. Besides, why doesn't he go ask your mother's new guy for some help? He seems to be doing pretty well for himself, right? Dad, that's not really his responsibility. I know. Well, we all have our cross to bear, I guess. But you know as well as I do, but it'd be a much different story if your mother hadn't divorced me right before my business was about to take off. Dad, that was 15 years ago and that business wasn't. Dad, have you guys even talked about coming? Kiddo, I don't have it easy like your mother and her family does. Nothing comes easy for me, and guess what? It's getting worse. Whatever you do with your life, make sure you don't end up like me, having to make everybody happy. Because the world just continues to break your heart and demand more and more of you. The world gave up on me when your mother divorced me. You're a father now, and I hope the world is kinder to you than it was for me, because God help you if you make a mistake. I'm sorry, Dad, and I'm sorry that things are stressful for you and Betty. How about I just check in with you next week and see if you guys have thought about it? All right. Well, you're probably tired of hearing about the old man's problems, so I guess I'll catch you later. Hey, Dad, I'm just checking in about Thanksgiving. I haven't heard back from you for a little while. I'm so sorry. I called you and I was about to leave a voicemail, and then I got distracted. I'm definitely coming, and I'm booking my airfare today, and I'm going to come a day earlier if that's okay. I want to get more time with you and finally meet Nicholas. He's beautiful, and I love those FaceTime calls that we did with him. I dropped the ball. I'm sorry. I've been distracted because things have been pretty rocky with Betty, and I'm not sure about our future together. I could tell you more about it when I see you. Oh, well, I'm sorry things aren't working out with her. It's really okay. One good thing about being single at my age, what works and what doesn't work. And hey, I was thinking, I know I'm rusty, but if you guys maybe want to get a night out while I'm there to do a date night, I would love to be able to do that for you guys. Wow, we'd love that. We were just saying that we haven't been out together in months. Thank you. I bet. Yep. Hey, how is your mother doing? She's great. When we'll see her at Christmas, and we wanted Thanksgiving to be with you and Mike. And I got him his ticket, by the way, since the costs were going up and the date was getting closer. I'll reimburse you for that. And I think I need to check in with your mom about Mike's cell phone plan. I think my plan is giving him problems, so I'll take care of that. Well, Dad, I can pay for some of his ticket. We're doing okay. And, no. Maybe get him something nice at Christmas, but I feel the big items like that are my responsibility. So, and you guys shouldn't have to do that kind of thing for each other yet. It's nice that you look out for him. You're a really good big brother to him. So how are you guys doing with the baby? The firstborn is really a trial by fire. And are you guys doing okay? We're okay. But yeah, it definitely gets stressful sometimes, and we're both trying to make it all happen, but we're just so sleep deprived. Totally get it, and that's what it's like. It's like the first year is one long, exhausting day. And you get caught up in making things happen that you forget to appreciate each other. She'll need that from you, and you'll need that from her. You're right, we're pretty zombied, but yes, I'll remind myself to tell her that. Thank you. Well, excellent. Well, I'll email you my flight information, and you're busy with Nicholas, so what I'll do is I'll Uber myself to you from the airport. No way. We'll pick you up so you can meet Nicholas right there. Okay, I'd love that. Yeah. Right. Love you too. Love you too. Hey, Dad, I'm checking in about Thanksgiving. I haven't heard back from you for quite a while now. Yeah, I know. We've been really busy with looking for a new condo for Betty. This place just doesn't suit her anymore. Well, I see. Well, we just need to make a plan, and I need to know if you're coming, since this year we see Mom at Christmas, and like we said, we'd see you at Thanksgiving. And Dad, you still haven't met Nicholas, and he's 4 months old now. Well, you got the gift card I sent, right? Yeah, Dad, we did. We got that last week. Good. Well, you could have sent us a thank you, but I guess we're all pretty busy, right? Actually, Dad, we are busy. We have a newborn, and you haven't been involved or present in any way for him, so I need you to think before you say something like that, and don't try to guilt trip me into thanking you for a gift card that's 3 months late. Jeez. Wow. Well, aren't we grateful? Fine. Well, while you're kicking me while I'm down, you need to know that things have been impossibly tough with Betty and her work problems, and I'm really bogged down supporting her in that. You wouldn't believe how hard she works for those people, and she gets such flack from them. It's crazy, and it's never ending. By the way, have you heard from Mike? I got this call from him last month screaming bloody murder at me about his cell phone. Dad, I need us to focus on if you're coming to Thanksgiving or not. I'd like this call to confirm either nay or yay, because I've been chasing you about this, which is a pattern between us that I would like to stop engaging in. What the hell do you mean chasing me? Your brother is screaming me on the phone.
while I'm trying to focus help with Betty and her work stuff. You got a lot of nerve.
Dad, I'm not available to talk about your new relationship or take care of your feelings about Mike. If you can't calmly let me know about Thanksgiving, we should just end the conversation right now.
What do you mean chasing me?
Change your tone, Dad.
I'm calm. What do you mean?
I emailed you 5 weeks ago about your plan, and you responded a month later only to talk about Betty's condo and her work problems.
And you can't tell that I'm preoccupied from that intel? Look, I don't have it easy like your mother and her family does. And like I've always said, if she hadn't blown up our marriage right before my business was to take off...
Dad, it's best that you don't come to Thanksgiving since you continue to avoid telling me about your plans about it. I'm also setting a boundary with you. When we talk, you don't talk about the divorce with me, or Mom, or Mike, or about that business that failed.
I don't know what you want from me. You're not listening and not giving me time. I was getting to Thanksgiving.
You've now had weeks to tell me, and on this call, you're wasting my time by trying to get me to feel bad for you.
I don't know what you want from me. I bet your wife would be shocked if she knew how you were treating me.
I'm hanging up the phone, Dad. Goodbye.
So why couldn't you do this lunch yesterday? I was wondering if you were mad at me.
No, Mom, I wasn't. I just had an appointment that's kind of hard to talk about.
Well, are you all right?
Yeah. It's nothing medical. I'm totally okay.
Well, good. You scared me. Don't do that.
Well, Mom, I was going to tell you, and I wanted to bring this up for a while, but I had a therapy appointment yesterday, and I'm seeing a therapist now.
Why, honey? Is Andrew treating you poorly? I'd die if he was doing something to you.
No, Mom, Andrew's amazing. Just no.
Well, I hope you're not talking about me in therapy, right?
Mom, I talk about a lot of things with my therapist, but yeah, I do talk about you.
Oh, God. I don't know if I can hear this.
Mom, you're not making this easy.
Well, Christ, how am I supposed to respond when you're talking about me behind my back?
Mom, I just need to say it. I've wanted to bring this up for a while, and my therapy sessions are about what life was like in middle school.
What about middle school? You never told me about middle school.
Mom, that's when you and Dad divorced, and you immediately started dating Dennis.
Oh, I thought it was something else. God, Dennis. That guy ruined my life. Do you know he still owes me money for that apartment? He never paid me.
Yeah, I can, Mom. And that's what I talk about with my therapist. We process how abusive Dennis was to me and Kelly.
Yeah, those years were the worst. I didn't know if I was going to make it through all that.
Well, I need to tell you some things about him, Mom. Mom, I still have nightmares about Dennis screaming at us, and you had him move in just 2 months after the divorce. We barely knew him, and he would scream at us about not cleaning. Do you remember when he punched the wall because Kelly left her backpack at Dad's because she needed a ride to go get it?
I don't remember that, and I'm not sure any of that happened. He had a temper, sure, but...
Well, Kelly remembers, Mom. Do you remember why she started sleeping at her friends' houses all the time?
Oh, no. She had wonderful friends. It wasn't because of Dennis. Come on.
Mom, she hated him and she was terrified of him like I was. Kelly would go to her friend's house and I would go to Aunt Gina's, remember?
Ugh. Your Aunt Gina did nothing but criticize me through that whole time. And she was no help like your father and no help like everybody else.
But Mom, you had him live with us for 5 years and, well, do you remember the neighbors would come by because how abusive things would get between the two of you?
I'm getting angry. Those were the worst years of my life. And where was your father in all this? Shouldn't you be screaming at him too?
Oh my God, Mom, you specifically told us to not tell him about how bad those fights were, remember?
I did no such thing. And oh, for God's sakes, I would never make you do something like that.
Mom, you sat Kelly and I down after those fights, and you would beg us to not tell Dad because you would get in trouble. You made us promise.
Okay, so now according to you, I am the worst mother in the world.
I was suicidal in high school because I hated our life. I was worried about you, about how Dennis treated you, and how he treated us. I can't listen to this anymore. You know, you'll have kids someday. And let's see how you like it when they read you the riot act and expect you to be perfect. I needed someone in my life. You were fine. You had friends. We went shopping. You had it better than I did. Did the therapist put you up to this? Can I call them? They only hear one side of the story, you know. You and I used to be so close, and I don't know what happened to us. I can't believe this. You know, 2 months after leaving Dad, and you had an abusive stranger live with us without a discussion. You just introduced him to us while he was moving in. You'll see one day when you're lonely and you go through a divorce and you try to be a great mother for 2 kids who came out fine, by the way, and you'll see how it feels when one of them turns on you. I suppose you'll turn Kelly on me too. Why not? Everybody else does. I can't talk anymore. This is ruining me. How come you couldn't do the lunch yesterday? Oh, I just had an appointment that's kind of hard to talk about. Well, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It's nothing medical. I'm totally okay. Well, good. I just wanted to bring this up for a while now, but Mom, I had a therapy appointment yesterday and I'm seeing a therapist now. Oh, I didn't know that. Is everything okay, honey? Yeah, Mom, this is really hard, but I needed to see someone for anxiety and nightmares. And it's related to what happened in middle school. Do you mean me dating Dennis after the divorce, honey? Well, I think it's really good that you're talking to somebody about it. And I should have brought it up with you and Kelly, but I have a lot of guilt. But I shouldn't let that get in the way of talking about this with you. Whatever you need to tell me, I can hear. Thank you. You know, I haven't, because I actually didn't think it was that bad until the nightmares popped up. And I also didn't want to make you feel bad. Well, honey, he was awful. And I know I'm responsible for bringing him into you and Kelly's life. So, but do you need to tell me something? Was he off with you? No, but it wasn't that, Mom. But he would scream at us, punch walls. And he really picked on me and Kelly when she was just being a kid and I'd have to protect her. Ugh. And you guys would see those fights he and I would have too. I'm really sorry. I don't want you to take care of me right now because this is about what you need. But I was really lost after the divorce and trying to prove something to the world and maybe trying to prove something to your dad. So, Mom, you're okay with talking about this? I need to hear this, but are you okay? I put you in harm's way and you're being really brave and real with me. Can you tell me more about it? Well, some of the nightmares are worrying about you because of those fights. He'd get so ragey and he was such a psycho. You know, I never should have brought him into your life and I should have gone into counseling and really thought about what you and Kelly needed after the divorce. I was in total la-la land. Mom, thank you for being cool about this. And I was worried that you would fall apart or something. No, you know, I need to hear this and I didn't show up for you back then, but I can show up for you now. And you're safe to talk about this with me now and I'm really sorry. So why couldn't you do this lunch yesterday? I was wondering if you were mad at me. No, Mom, I wasn't. I just had an appointment it's kind of hard to talk about. Well, are you all right? Yeah, no, I'm all right. It's nothing medical. I'm okay. Well, good. You scared me. Don't do that. Well, Mom, I was going to tell you, and I've been meaning to bring this up for a while now, but I had a therapy appointment yesterday, and I'm seeing a therapist now. Why, honey? Is Andrew treating you poorly? I'd die if he was doing anything to you. No, Mom. Andrew's amazing. Like, why would you? Whew. Well, I hope you're not talking about me in therapy, are you? Oh, God, I don't know if I can hear this. Mom, I need you to listen to what I have to say, and don't make this about you. Well, Christ, how am I supposed to respond when you're talking about me behind my back? Mom, I think you need to know something about what life was like around middle school. That guy ruined my life. Do you know he still owes me money for that apartment? Can you believe that? Yep. That's the kind of stuff I talk about with my therapist. We process how abusive Dennis was to me and Kelly. I don't remember that. I'm not even sure that happened. Yeah, he had a temper, but come on. Your Aunt Gina did nothing but criticize me throughout those years, and she was no help, just like Dennis and everybody else. Here's the deal, Mom. You brought an abusive man into our life, and now you're refusing to acknowledge that you had any part in it. I'm getting angry. Those were the worst years of my life. And how about you start screaming at your father? Shouldn't he be involved in this? Now you're deflecting as if Dad had said something to do with your choices to bring Dennis into your life. Of course your father affected me. Are you insane? And now you're trying to make it look like you're the victim to get me to feel for you. I can't listen to this anymore. You know, you'll have kids someday and see how I'm stopping you there. You don't get to wax poetic and shame me for telling you the truth about your abusive choices. You chose to date him and rush him into our lives, and you take no responsibility for it. You're definitely not the authority on what it was like for us. I don't know what you want from me. I don't want anything at this point. I've made a mistake. You're not safe to talk to about this. And if we're going to have a relationship, the boundary is you don't get to make any passive-aggressive statements about me going to therapy or acting like I'm hurting you for being real. And chances are I know you're going to call Kelly right after this and tell her about how awful I am. Well, I guess it's your reality over mine then. So listen, I solved your sister's problem with the makeup artist. Oh, hi, Mom. Hi. I didn't know there was a problem with the makeup artist. Just listen to me, okay? The problem was your sister kept having to add some more bridesmaids, and the person kept upping her fee and trying to price gouge us just because the plan changed. Unbelievable, right? Well, Mom, I think they have to bring in a second makeup artist when you have that many bridesmaids to get it all done. Honey, that's what they all say. They're no different than sketchy contractors. Just shut up and listen for a minute. Listen, I told your sister that you'd be happy to do all the makeup for her and the bridesmaids. Let's just cut the middleman out of this, and you can just call it your wedding gift to her. Can you believe that the makeup artist threatened us to not give the deposit back? The wedding isn't for a month, and that's plenty of time to cancel. She gave us this line of bull that she's been holding the date for a year, hence the need for the deposit. Come on. Mom, I think that's how they all work. Just be quiet for a minute. Listen, no one threatens me as a consumer. Like, boo-hoo, she lost the date. I'm more than happy to show up in court about it. And this saves so much money by having you do the makeup. And I know you love doing it since you're the best at it out of all of us. Your sister did say she didn't know about you being able to handle it, but I think you'll be amazing at it. And you'll save money at not getting her something from the gift registry. Mom, I'm honored, but I'm not that good, and that's a lot of people, and I already got her a gift from the registry. So you can return it. Listen, you'll need to be with us at the hotel at 7, and do you think 2 hours is enough time for you to do your sister, the 12 bridesmaids, and me? And you know what? Screw your sister's mother-in-law, by the way. I can't stand her. She can find her own person. Enough of this coffee cap nonsense with us. Mom, please listen. I can't do this. I've only assisted on a wedding. And that many people takes 3 makeup artists in the amount of time. And then there's touch-ups after and then a photo shoot. Do not upset me on this. You will do it for your sister and you will not fall apart just because it's a time crunch. I'm not going to look bad on this. Listen, I'll tell everyone to not be picky, but your sister and I should get more time. Mom, I'm sorry, but it's just not humanly possible to do that many people in 2 hours. It would at least take 4 with 2 people doing it at all. Oh my God, this doesn't have to be hard. Just handle it. Grab a girlfriend who can do it with you. You still have friends, right? If you ruin your sister's day, I swear I'll disown you. Okay, Mom, I won't lay you down, but do you know if everyone can get to the ceremony earlier so I can have more time? Look, don't bother me with trying to be the messenger in this. I'm sure you know all of your sister's friends. You can figure it out. And if the groom's mother asks, just make something up. She doesn't need to know we change people, okay? It's her fault for piggybacking on us like the way with the one we had. Well, Mom, shouldn't she at least know? Ah! You're pissing me off. Just do it. It's easy. Grab some mascara, some foundation, some eyeliner from the store on the way to hotel and make it happen. Jesus, don't make me regret me saving all this money. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be there and I'll just talk to them and I'll figure it out. So guess what? I solved your sister's problem with the makeup artist. Hi, Mom. Just FYI, I only have a minute or so for this call. Nice try, but this involves you, so just listen and pay attention, okay? The problem your sister had with the makeup person was that she needed to add more bridesmaids, and the person kept upping her fee, trying to price gouge your sister just because the plan changed. Can you believe that? Hello? Mom, makeup artists have to charge by the person, and what does this have to do with me? Honey, that's what they all say about charging. Just shut up for a minute and pay attention. You seem sleepy. Listen, I told your sister that you'd be happy to do all the makeup for her and the bridesmaids. Let's just cut out the middleman out of this, and let's just call it your wedding gift to her. Can you believe that the makeup person also threatened to not give the deposit back? The wedding isn't for a month, and that's plenty of time to cancel. She gave us some line of bull that she's been holding the date for a year, and that's why she had a deposit in the first place. Come on. I'm not doing the makeup for this wedding. I'm just attending, and I plan on leaving early. No. It's too late for that. I volunteered you, and you're going to do it. Back to the makeup person, no one threatens me as a consumer. Like, boo-hoo, she lost the date, and I'm happy to show up in court about it. And listen, this saves so much money by having you do the makeup, and I know you love doing it, and since you're the best at it. Your sister did say that she didn't know if you'd be able to handle it, but I know you'll be amazing at it. And you'll save money at not getting her something from the gift registry. I have to go in a sec, and I'm not doing the makeup for this wedding. I'm just attending, and you guys will have to figure out something else. You're doing it, or you will ruin your sister's day and make me look bad. I swear to God, if you F this up, I will have everyone disown you. You guys will just have to find someone else, and it'll be fine. You know, I really have to go in a minute. You should be grateful that I'm involved at all in this. Since your sister is finally getting married, and God knows you're decades away from finding somebody. Listen, I'm not looking bad in this, and you're just going to do it. You'll look however you'll look, Mom, and this doesn't involve me. Honey, listen. I don't think you get how important you are in this. I'll explain it. You are now the only option. I can't get this woman back in, and I know you won't forgive yourself if you let your sister down on the biggest day of her life, okay? Hey, Mom, I really have to get off the phone, and I don't want to be rude and cut you off. You're pissing me off. This doesn't have to be this hard. Just do it. Just grab a girlfriend who can do it with you and just do it. Sounds hard, but this doesn't involve me, and you have to find another makeup artist. What is wrong with you? Are you medicated? Did you have a fall or something? I'm getting worried about you that maybe you have a mental health issue going on. Well, I have to go, and I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll make sure you no longer have a seat at this wedding, or at least you won't be sitting with us. Have fun sitting at the miscellaneous crowd table, okay? Hey, Mom, how are things? Well, hi. I was wondering if you maybe didn't really want to talk to me anymore. How are you? Good, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I said I'd call in a week, which was up yesterday, so I'm sorry I'm a little late. I didn't want you to think that. It's all right. But you know how important it is to me to get these calls from you since it's me around here, right? I know, I'm sorry. It's not that I wasn't thinking about you. Well, what's up? Tell me about yourself. Is the work thing okay now? I'm good. Yeah, things are good at work. You know, moving into that new team was easier than I thought it would be. And it's actually been a really good move into that department. And I really like the people. Well, they clearly know how amazing you are, and, you know, I'm surprised they haven't made you lead yet, but I suppose if they did, then they'd probably be relocating you somewhere else, right? No, Mom, even if that was true, I would hate relocating. I really like it here. Well, you could. And why would you stay since I'm the only family you have in the state now? And you have these wonderful options going on for you in your life, and you're a genius at what you do. Just be careful, though. These people don't see that as much as I do, probably. Thanks, Mom, but really, I'm not going anywhere. Colorado is home, and I would hate it just being you left here, so that's why I have zero plans. I'm just saying you're valuable to them, okay? And anybody can see that. So how is it going with this girlfriend of yours? Well, good, Mom, and that's what I wanted to bring up. I want you to meet her soon, which you will, of course. Hold on, I feel like you're about to lie to me or something. What's going on? No, Mom, I'm sorry. I just want you to know, I'm trying to let you know that I'm sorry about this, but our situation is that we have this trip booked to Chicago next week, and I'll have her meet Dad because her family just lives 45 minutes away from him.
So she's meeting him first? I f***ing knew you were hiding something from me, of course. Why does your father get to do that first? So you can all sit around the fireplace and trash talk me about how I haven't met anybody or that I don't make as much money as he does?
No, Mom, please don't think. Her flight was booked months ago, and before we talked about it, and I never talk about you with Dad like that. I respect your privacy.
Right. So what did you tell this girlfriend? That your father left me for someone else because that's what men do when they're done with you? Maybe I should warn her about that, huh? Since you're his son, you'll probably do the same thing to her, maybe. But I guess I don't get the opportunity to, huh?
Mom, I'm sorry. It's nothing like that. Like with her, I only say things that you would be comfortable
Like what?
with.
What would I be comfortable with? That I'm comfortable with knowing what a terrible husband and father he was? And a terrible dad he was to you? Oh, I try to warn you about him? But I see you're on your way to just ending up just like him because you can't be honest with me.
Mom, please, I'm sorry. That's not fair. These flights were already booked to meet her parents.
Oh, so her parents come first because I'm garbage to you. No, you're garbage to me. And I knew I couldn't trust you to give a shit about what I go through. I can't believe this is happening. See if I pick up the phone when you decide to call me next week so you can just placate me and humiliate me. I don't need anyone's f***ing charity. I might not even be around. Not like you would lose sleep about it anyway.
Mom, I'm sorry. Please don't start saying stuff like that again. I can't, I can change these plans, and I hate you being in this pain. What do you mean you won't be around?
Lovely. Now you pretend to care, but only when you might look bad in it. No, thank you. Who knows what I mean? How does a person know what they'll do in life? Next time you call me and insult my intelligence like this, you may never hear from me again, and I mean it this time.
Mom, please don't. Hey, Mom, how are things?
Well, look who it is. Hi. How are you?
Hey, tell me how that switch at work is going.
Really good.
Moving into that team was easier than I thought it would be, and it's actually been a really good move to that department. I really like the people.
Oh, good.
That always makes the job easier when you get along with the people you work with, I know you'll do great there.
So, how is it going with the girlfriend, and when do I get to meet her?
Well, good, Mom, and that's what I wanted to bring up. I want you to meet her soon, which you will.
Great.
But it might have to wait, and I'm planning on having you meet her, but she and I had this trip already booked to Chicago next week to meet her folks, and I'll have her meet Dad because her family just lives 45 minutes away from him.
Oh, wow. So she grew up there? How crazy is that she's so close to your dad's?
I know, but listen, I feel guilty that you haven't met her yet because we're close. It's just that she just booked this flight a long time ago, and it just worked out like this.
Oh, honey, don't feel bad at all. Enjoy yourself.
I'm sure your dad will love her, and he's so good about stuff like that. It's what my mother really liked about him. I'm patient, and I'll meet her when I meet her.
When you come back, just give me some times, and we'll go, either I'll come to you or we'll meet halfway like we normally do. Tell me about her.
Mom, I just think that she's the one. She's goofy like me, and I know that you'll just love her. She's so down to earth, and we're both in this very similar place where we want the same things, and we're just really good to each other. Oh, you sound like you're in love. I can't wait to meet her. I'm sure she's just enamored with you since you're such a good one, and I'm sure that she'll see that in your dad too, like you're both such good men. So you're okay with me having her meet Dad first?
Honey,
please. I'm easy. The divorce was so long ago, and you're sweet, but when we divorced, I wanted you to feel like you didn't owe us anything, and that's still true. You didn't even have to really check it out with me. Go, have a good time, and I'll meet her when I see you too. Love you, Mom.
Love you. Bye.
Hey, Mom, how are things?
Well, hi. I was wondering if you maybe didn't really want to talk to me anymore. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, well, I'd said I'd call you in a week, so here I am.
Sorry, but
You know how important it is for me to get these calls since it's just me up here. Sure, Mom, but I'm consistent, though. Well, what's up? Tell me about yourself. Is the work thing okay now? Yeah, I'm good. Things are good at work. Moving into that new team was easier than I thought it would be, and it's actually been a really good move to that department, and I really like the people. Well, they clearly know how amazing you are, and I'm surprised they haven't made you the lead yet, but then, of course, they'd probably relocate you somewhere else if they did, right? No, there's no discussion of that, and I wouldn't agree to it because I really like where I am. Well, you could. And and why would you stay since I'm the only family member you have in the state now, and you have all these wonderful options going on, and since you're such a genius at what you do. Just be careful, though. These people probably don't see it as much as I do. Thanks, Mom, but I'm really not going anywhere. Colorado's home. I'm just saying you're valuable to them, okay? Anybody can see that. So how is it going with this girlfriend? She's great, Mom, and guess what? Her folks live 45 minutes away from Dad, so I'll be visiting them next week. So she's meeting your father before I meet her? I f***ing knew it. I f***ing knew you were hiding something from me. I could hear it in your voice. So she gets to meet your father first so you can all sit around the fireplace and trash talk me about how I haven't remarried or that I don't make as much money as he does. Mom, I'm not engaging with you if you start accusing me of whatever you imagine that is going on. I've asked you before to watch what you say around me. Don't you threaten me. You should know by now I never back down from a threat. So what did you tell this girlfriend? That your father left me for somebody else because that's what men do when they're done with you? You're probably afraid I warn her about you since you and your father are close. But I guess you won't give me the chance to speak my mind, just like your father doesn't. My relationship with Dad is none of your business. And honestly, it's not worth introducing you to her. You have no filter and you can't control your own volatility. I bet you just don't want her to know how terrible your father was to me or how I try to warn you about him. Are you afraid you'll scare her off, right? Men don't want women to know what they're in for. Mom, you're sick. You just accused me and my father of being abusive when you were the toxic one in that marriage and as a parent. Even in this conversation, you're toxic. I can't listen to this. You called me just to rub it in my face. You are awful. I only wanted to protect you from him. And now you just hate me. I knew I couldn't trust you to give an ounce of to what happens to me. I knew you'd do this. See if I pick up the phone when you decide to call me next time and just placate me and humiliate me. I don't need your charity. I might not even be around when you pick up the phone, so don't waste your time. Hey, how did we get here, Mom? What do you mean you called me? How did this conversation go off the rails after I told you about going to Chicago? Don't toy with me. I have no idea what you're talking about. I told you about Chicago, a basic, normal thing in a son's life, and you accused me of lying to you. Then you got all paranoid about me talking about you to Dad. I set a boundary with you, and then you instantly crossed it by being sexist and abusive about men. Me being one, and also my father. You don't get it! I wasn't finished. After that, you gave me a vague, veiled threat about how you're going to do something to yourself. So how did we get here? I have to go. I can't let you rob me of my dignity. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I don't have a good career like your father does. And I'm sorry that I have to tell the truth. And I'm sorry that I'm not a doormat mother who lets you just insult her dignity. And I'm sorry I'll never get to meet her now because you hate me. You were responsible for this upset and what just happened between us, and you were responsible for your own feelings. When and if we talk again, you will not go down this road with me. I have to go. Please let me go, please. Hey, honey, I'm calling to get your friend Kate's address. I'm helping your sister put together the thank you notes from all the generous gifts from the baby shower yesterday. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I think she's moved, but I can text her later. Oh, okay. Can you just let me know? Because I'd like to get these out sooner than later. You know me. Yeah, Mom, I can get it to you today. Mom, did you talk to Dad at all about what he did in front of everybody yesterday? Like the screaming and the swearing about the cars? I don't think he saw that. I had to go cry in the bathroom when he started screaming like that. that he was blocked in. Oh, honey, he was just upset. You know how he is. He was blocked from all your sister's friends' cars in the driveway and on the street. Yeah, but Mom, he made us all so uncomfortable. And, like poor Jill was shaking when she realized it was her car behind his, and he kept swearing and screaming about it. Oh, I think she was all right. She said such lovely things about how we put the shower together when she left. Mom, she was freaked out and left early. Honey, why are we talking about this? I think everyone had a great time. Didn't you? No, Mom, I don't think you're hearing me. Dad threw a rage tantrum because he hates having any guests in the house, or God forbid her schedule gets interrupted. That's why I was offering to have the shower at my place, Mom. Oh, you know how your father is. He just gets upset. And so what? I spent years trying to get out of his way, and he just forgets about it. But Mom, that's not normal. He gets abusive. Geez, I think you have a lot to learn about marriage, honey. I just understand your father better. I think I understand him more than anyone else does. He gets a little bit cranky, and it's just best to not fight with him, and you just kind of get out of his way. So you see nothing wrong with that? You saw nothing wrong with what happened yesterday or what he did at my graduation? Or how inappropriate he gets when I had to introduce Michael to you guys? And Mom, the Smiths next door moved because they were done with Dad going into rages about the property line and the mowing, remember? I don't know why we're talking about this. I just asked you nicely to get Kate's address, to get the thank you cards out. Honey, the Smiths couldn't work with your father about the grass. Listen, you need to understand that he's a complicated person, but he's got a really good heart. And I don't know why people just don't see that. He's provided for us all throughout these years, and where would any of us be without him? Watch what I do with him. He gets cranky, but he usually has a good point. And he just likes it when you agree with him. It helps him not get so upset. And you just make the situation better. Jill immediately apologized. She quickly moved her car, and she was fine and easy peasy. I don't understand what's so hard for you about that. Mom, that's not the point. Honey, the point is you have a lot to learn about your father. Why do you always have to push the issue with him? You always made it so much worse for yourself growing up. I never understood why you upset the apple cart so much. I think that's just your personality, and it just doesn't jive with his. I always watched you lose when it came to him. Well, Mom, if you knew I kept losing, why didn't you ever say anything or talk to me about it or help? I thought I was helping. I didn't want to get in the way between the two of you. I'd be making waves when the two of you can figure it out. I was just hoping that you'd eventually learn that, no one's perfect. And it's helpful to everyone to just work with what you got and see the good in people. Honey, he loves you. Deep down, he loves us all. Honestly, I think it's cute when he gets cranky like that. It's like a little boy needing a nap. Okay, Mom. Maybe it's, there was a lot of people in the house yesterday and most stressful. Oh, see? Easy peasy. I'll talk to you later about Kate's address, okay? All right. Hey, honey, I'm calling to check in with you about yesterday. That was awful, and I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry about the scene he made, and I'm totally disgusted with him. Hi, Mom. I knew having the shower with him there was a mistake. I'm sorry. I should have listened to you and listened to my gut. He can't be trusted to not ruin things, and especially these important moments. I couldn't sleep last night. I kept thinking about poor Jill shaking about the car in the driveway. You must be livid, sweetie. Your sister and I broke down after we left, and all of her friends were so freaked out. I am livid, Mom. And Mom, I love you, but I'm sorry, but I can't be involved with Dad anymore. It breaks my heart to see what he does to you and what he does to all of us. It's just too toxic. Oh, honey, I get it. Of course. It's taken me years, but I'm finally seeing it now. And I'm sorry for not seeing it sooner. Ever since you were little, I think you were trying to tell me that, but I couldn't handle you telling me. I'm so sorry. I needed things to stay afloat, and that was selfish of me. Mom, I really, really appreciate you saying that. What are you going to do? Well, I didn't tell you yet, but I've started to see a therapist, and I'm reading this book called Codependent No More. It's like this woman knows my life, and I'm also talking to my sister about maybe moving in with her for a little while before I move forward with a divorce. Mom, that's incredible. I'm so proud of you. Does Dad know you're doing that? Not yet, but I'm only learning to get real and speak my truth from the therapist, but I'm also learning that you've tried harder than I have to get me to this point. I think I know what you mean, Mom, but, you can just leave now if you wanted to. You're welcome to stay with us tonight. You're sweet, honey, but that's what I mean. I don't think it's good for you to take care of me or be such a big part of helping me or trying to get me out of this. You've been so much more aware of this when I should have been. This is my responsibility now. I need to do this on my own and take action. How about I tell you what my next steps are when it's done? I don't want you to have to take care of me. That's my job. Your father will react like he reacts to everything else. So I'm learning that it doesn't really matter if I go versus I stay. He's miserable either way, which is kind of the good news, I guess. Mom, that's so true. Go, Mom. You sound amazing. I'm not out of the woods yet, but I've been codependent for so long that I'm learning that I'm just building up to leaving, which is a process. And it's progress. Are you sure you don't need anything, though? I think I just need you to sit tight and think if there's more stuff you need to tell me about, like not how I've made you feel about how I've had my head in the sand for so long. I need to hear that. I didn't protect you at all. Mom, it might be hard to say that stuff, but you've already given me everything that I need right now. Well, good. How about I call you in a few days about how it's going? I love you. I love you too. Hey, honey, I'm calling to get your friend Kate's address. I'm helping your sister put together the thank you notes from all the generous gifts from the baby shower yesterday. Hi, Mom. We need to talk about yesterday. Oh, honey, what do we need to talk about? Don't do that, Mom. Dad made a scene and freaked everyone out because he can't manage his own rage. And he thinks family life should be done without him. That's what about yesterday. He was just upset. You know how he is. And he likes to have the house to ourselves, and we blocked him in from all the guest parking. He had a point, honey. He made everyone uncomfortable, Mom. Jill was shaking when she realized it was her car behind his. And he just kept swearing and screaming. At a baby shower for his first grandchild. Oh, come on. She was all right. And she said such lovely things about how we put the shower together when she left. Mom, she was freaked out and left early. That was her trying to take care of you. Why are we talking about this? I think everyone had a great time, didn't you? No, Mom, I didn't. I had to cry in the bathroom. In fact, it's gotten so bad, I'm not going to be involved with Dad anymore. He's volatile and you aren't real about it. Honey, you can't just not be involved with your own father. That's preposterous, and it'll only complicate things for everyone else. You know how your father is. He was just upset. So what? I spent years trying to get out of his way, and he forgets about it. I don't get what's so hard about that. He's abusive, Mom. I think you have a lot to learn about marriage. I just understand your father better. I think I understand him more than anyone else does. He gets a little cranky, and it's best to just not fight with him or get in his way. Mom, it makes me sad that you don't see your part in this. You're codependent, Mom. You make excuses for him, and you don't see how abusive he is. You're fine with him being abusive now, and you were fine all the way through our childhood. Jeez, I don't know why we're talking about this. I just asked you nicely to get Kate's address, just to get the thank you cards out. I will say, you've always made things harder on yourself with him. Yesterday, I was reminding everybody to just have a good time and enjoy the moment. How, Mom? Do you think that more onion dip helps distract everybody from the raging lunatic swearing at us about who owns the gray Camry in the driveway? Look, Jill immediately apologized and quickly moved her car, and we were all fine. What's the problem? Mom, you're not real about him because you'd have to feel embarrassment and shame about it. You'd also have to feel how responsible you are for what he does in this family. I think I'm quite real and responsible. You have a lot to learn about your father. You always tried to push your issues with him. You always made it so much worse for yourself. I never understood why you upset the apple cart so much. I think that's just your personality, and it just doesn't drive with his. Look, Mom, we're going in circles. You're trying to get me to feel like what happened yesterday was no big deal, and that I'm causing the problem, and it's not happening. I'm not involving myself with Dad anymore, and you're committed to put your head in the sand about it, the abuse. And I'm done trying to convince you. Also, I'm setting a boundary with you. You no longer get to preach to me about how I don't handle my abusive father like you do. You don't handle him. You enable him and you placate him, and then you act superior to people who are genuinely scared of him. That is so gross. Listen, honey, you're upset, and I think it's best if we talk later this week. Why don't I get Kate's address from you? I gotta go, Mom. We're done. Bye. Mom's crying, and you need to tell me what you said to her. Oh, I tried to explain to her, but I couldn't come. Is she okay? No, she's not okay. Like usual, you just think about yourself, and it wrecks her. And now we have to take care of her. Just like last Christmas, she's locked herself in her room over something you said, and Dad and I have been trying to get her out ever since. I can't believe you done this again. I'm sorry. I was just trying to explain to her. Explain what? That despite everything she's done for us, raised you, dealt with your education, and puts up with all your so-called problems, that you refuse to come home when she has cancer? She has cancer? She didn't tell me she has cancer. It just sounded like she had a precautionary biopsy to do. Did the doctor call her back or something? I don't know. All I know is she's having surgery and you're not going to be there by her side. She's a mess right now because of you. Well, Michael, it's a day surgery to get a simple biopsy. It's just precautionary. They haven't diagnosed her with anything unless something has changed in the last 20 minutes. Like that matters. You're always effing splitting hairs. Like you wouldn't be worried if you had to get a test like this. Michael, getting tested for cancer is different than actually having it. Oh my God, whatever. What did you say to her? I'm sure you were so empathic because that's all you go on about when you're actually here. Michael, I'm sorry I'm putting you through this, but I told her I can't get there. I have work meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday. You guys are a 10-hour drive away from me, and I've already tried to explain all this to her. It's a pandemic, and it's not safe for us to all go in with her for just a biopsy in a hospital. When I work in health, they don't allow anybody to go into an appointment like that. And it'll just take like an hour, and then she goes home. She would move heaven and earth if it was for you. You couldn't explain to your boss or call Mom's docs and make them bend the rules a little bit about us being there? And come on, you should know better that the pandemic is only risky for older people. Michael, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm sorry, but I can't. What did she say after my phone call with her? She said that she'll probably end up with a malignant mass due to the stress that you are putting her through. Oh, Michael, that's extreme. Listen, hear me out. I'm really sorry, but she's making this out to be so much bigger than it actually is. She does this. Remember when she kept changing doctors because no one was right about her? And she made hire that patient advocate who just later quit? Michael, I think Mom has mental problems, and I think she does this to get attention. This is a thing. I've seen this in the hospital. So remember last year when she was convinced she was diabetic, and she made Aunt Mary do a total diabetic Thanksgiving meal, but then she refused to eat it and just complained about it? She set the whole thing up for attention. And she even made Aunt Mary not want us to ever speak to us again. Also, remember when you were getting sober and she refused to come to the family meeting because she was sick of doctors? She doesn't show up for you the way that she demands you show up for her. You're unbelievable. Maybe she was worried about me and it just came out that way, okay? Maybe those doctors gave her the runaround. Maybe that advocate sucked. And maybe Aunt Mary phoned it in. That meal did kind of suck, okay? Maybe her life isn't as easy as yours is. And you think about that instead of just pointing out everyone's fault all the time. Hold on, Dad's trying to join the call. Okay, your mother's inconsolable, and what's all this about? Are you coming or not? Dad, I'm sorry. I was just trying to tell my excuses. You were giving me excuses. Okay, this is really important to your mother and Mike and I, and we can't take care of her alone. She says you're abandoning her, and she won't come out of the bedroom. Dad, I was just trying to tell her it's just a biopsy, and your mother and I took vows to care for each other. Those are sacred. Family is sacred, and you need to be able to drop anything at any given time, and that's what I signed up for, and your mother needs us all. We have to show up, especially for those who need it the most, Kay. You know what, Kay? I'm done. Mom says she's not coming out of her bedroom until you agree to come. This is on you. Let us know by the end of the day. I'll come. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys shouldn't have to do this alone. We don't want you to do it just for us, okay? Hey, what's up? Mom's crying after talking with you, and she's doing that freak out thing again. I wanted to see if you were okay. I heard her yelling, and she always needs an enemy, even if it's her kids. Thanks. I'm okay. I'm just punchy. I just try to explain to her that, but are you okay? I'm hitting a wall. She's locked herself in a room again, and she's making it to be like we're all not doing enough for her. Really sick of this. You're 10 hours away in the middle of a pandemic, and she expects everybody to just drop everything for her. I'm sorry you have to deal with this. I was just trying to explain. Okay, I think she's getting worse. This is just an examination, right? But she's making it to be like an all-day daytime soap opera. Yep. I was trying to explain to her that it's just a biopsy and doesn't warrant me coming all the way up there for it. Michael, that appointment won't take more than an hour and a half. And I'm sure it's hard and uncomfortable, but people do it alone all the time. She could drive home alone. It's that easy. She's making this to sound like she already has cancer. I think I have to move out. I can't take her needing an enemy so much. If I'm not at her beck and call, she goes to Dad. And if Dad isn't at her beck and call, she goes to me. And if it's not me or Dad, she goes to the doctor or Dad's family, or it's the neighbor. And Dad can't get her to go to therapy either. He's setting limits, but it's an absolute S show with her. I think you're right. I think it is getting worse. I feel like we should do an intervention, but I feel like she would just become a puddle and just act out the whole time. Yep, she would. Dad and I already tried. We tried that 2 weeks ago, and she locked herself in a room and threatened to not come out until Dad wrote her an apology letter. Hold on, Dad's joining the call, okay? Kay, are you okay? Michael told me she lost it on you. I'm okay, Dad. I'm just sorry that I'm not there to help you guys out with this. You don't want to be here, trust me. Kids, this is all on me. I should have addressed her behavior years ago. It's just a freaking biopsy appointment, and she's pretending she's already on life support. No one can handle this kind of high maintenance. Kay, I'm sorry she loses it on you. She scapegoats you and has these tantrums when the world doesn't swoop in. Honey, you've done nothing wrong to deserve that, and neither does Michael. Dad, I'm really sorry how she treats you. What can I do to help? Kids, I think I need to handle this on my own. I should have done this years ago, but she needs psych treatment. And if she doesn't want that, I might have to separate from her. There's been too much damage in this family because of her acting out. I should have listened to my sister years ago when she warned me. And I'm sorry I didn't protect the two of you enough as kids. I have to remind myself that she's an adult. And if she can't handle these basic things, then she needs something else. I don't know what yet, but this is not okay. I don't know. Maybe it's time her siblings step up and support her till we get something in place. I love you guys, and I will check in with you later about this, okay? Okay, Dad. Love you. Love you. Love you. Hey, Michael, what's up? Mom's crying, and you need to tell me what you just said to her. I told her, Michael, that day surgery for a biopsy doesn't warrant me coming all the way up there. I can't believe you. As usual, you just think about yourself. She's locked herself in her room and is hysterical, and it's your fault. Mom's responsible for her own feelings and her behaviors, Michael. You're amazing. She's faced with cancer, and you do nothing to help like we do. Tell me how she has cancer. Tell me how you've gotten to that conclusion already. Don't play these I'm smarter than you games just because you happen to work in healthcare. You know what I mean. What do you mean, Michael? Has she been diagnosed with cancer? Like that matters. You're always effing splitting hairs. Like you wouldn't be worried about getting a test like this. Michael, getting tested for cancer is different than having it. And you are engaging in drama. She does not need this level of attention, and you're feeding right into it. I have work meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday. You guys are a 10-hour drive from me, and I've explained this to her. It's also a pandemic, and it's not safe for all of us to go in there with her for just a biopsy. They wouldn't even allow us to accompany her in there. It only takes an hour, and then she goes home. Besides all that, it's insane that you don't get that because you're just buying into her sickness. So she's just sick to you, huh? Oh my God, whatever. What did you say to her? I'm sure you were so empathic because that's all you seem to talk about when you're here. I told her exactly what I just walked you through. I'm not coming up there, and I'm not responsible for her being toxic about this. Come on, she would move heaven and earth if it was for you. You couldn't explain to your boss or call mom's doctors and make them bend the rules a little bit and come on, you should know better that the pandemic is only risky for older people. Michael, that doesn't even make any sense. You know what? She says she'll probably end up with a malignant mass because of you. Michael, you are trying to guilt and blame me and manipulate me, and it's toxic that you just went there. You don't get to shame me anymore about anything. Whatever. I don't even know what that means. Okay, maybe her life isn't as easy as yours is. You ever think about that? Or do you ever consider that she's your mother? Hold on, Dad's joining the call. Okay, your mother's inconsolable, and what's this all about? Are you coming up here or not? Dad, listen. You and Michael are being manipulated by Mom because she needs to be a victim, and you're both trying to rescue her, and it's all fake. She needs an enemy, and in this case, it's me, just because I'm disagreeing with her. But you are the enemy, though, Kay. Kay, this is really important to your mother, and Mike and I can't take care of her alone. She says you're abandoning her, and your mother and I took vows to care for each other, and those vows are sacred. Stop. I'm leaving this conversation. I don't need you to understand my points, but you both need to stop dragging me into this as if I caused her behavior. At the end of the day, she can drive herself to an appointment and be an adult and get herself back, and then wait for the results. I am not responsible for her locking herself in a room because she can't handle life without being toxic about it. Don't call me again about this. Goodbye.
So I hope that was helpful to you. Hit some buttons on the screen like subscribe or like or leave a comment. You really can't miss. And if you're interested in exploring working on childhood trauma issues, I run a monthly healing community with weekly journal prompts, live Q&As bi-monthly, and an extensive course list of dysfunctional family systems and recovery work, specifically around inner child work and reparenting. Okay, so as always, may you be filled with loving kindness, may you be well, may you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be joyous. And I will see you next time. Take care.